What's up, guys? Rob and Melissa here with Flip Market Flipper.
Hello.
Hope everybody is doing well and healthy tonight. Yeah, we are excited to jump onto this live and do this training. We get these kind of questions all the time. So we are going to dive into it here shortly. But first,
no, we're going to dive into some of these questions, but we are going to put together a page. We get questions and comments, sporadically and stuff, but we want to put together a page where you can go and enter your question specifically so we can make sure that we talk about it.
Yep.
So that's in the works. So look for that hopefully by next week.
Yep.
So.
And if it has not been answered before, we want to jump into here. These are the kind of questions we want to answer on Mondays. Like I said, we're going to do this, and definitely right now we want to do this Monday night training to help people grow their business or just get better at flipping. So that's our goal with this Monday night training.
And tonight we're going to talk about return requests.
Return requests! We hate those!
So we don't do returns.
We don't do returns on our end of the business, but we know a lot of people who do high volume stuff, they have to take returns. We do not do that, so we hate it when we get return requests. So we're going to tackle some of that tonight.
We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. And it's been a little harder with everything going on with eBay not being quite as available, but now they've been more available to talk to. So we're going to jump on there.
Yep.
So Michael says hello. Hello, Michael.
What's up? What's up?
Sandra, hello. And Junior Ray, what's up? Awesome. Howdy from Colorado, Julie.
Sweet.
Good to have you guys.
Awesome, guys. And like always, guys, any questions while we're going over this question right now, any questions that you guys think about or that we're not clear about, please throw them into the chat. We'll dive into as much as we can get tonight in this time frame that we have to do this live. So
yeah. We wanted to do the highlight. Do we want to do that real quick before we jump in?
Let's wait. We'll wait on the highlight.
Okay.
So, but it's a question. But the question we're going to answer tonight, you already said it. What to do when you
get a return request.
Return request. And like I said, we hate that. We don't do that. We know a lot of people do accept returns, but still, there's proper ways to do it, or there's ways that will help the whole process go so smooth if you handle it the right way. So that's what we're going to kind of discuss about tonight. So.
Did you want me to read the question that somebody's written on?
Yeah, this is kind of what provoked it, or what made us think about it. Was one of these questions just came in. I think it was yesterday or today.
YouTube user Emerpreet Brar I had a situation where the buyer damaged an item and asked for a refund. I spoke with an eBay rep and was told I have to give a partial refund and nothing can be done. So we're going to dive into that just a little bit.
Yeah.
So but before we get into that, a little more about the refund policy.
Yeah, for sure. For you guys who don't know, Melissa and I've been doing this. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I've had these exact instances happen to me. I've had people ask for returns. We've had to give returns before and had the item come back damaged to where you're able to get the money back from the buyer if they don't package the item properly when they ship it back to you. So there's a lot. I mean, this covers a lot of ground with. There's a lot of different instances. So we're going to dive into a little bit more of that in just a minute. So
Sherry said, guess what I sold $180 in 3 days through Facebook Marketplace.
What's up? Awesome.
Good job, Sherry. So
cool.
Awesome. Marion's on, Debbie, Carolyn. Hi, guys. Denise, welcome.
Welcome. We love hearing these stories. So awesome.
All right. Let's
cool.
dive in.
So
what do you do when someone does a return request?
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Definitely, guys. When anybody emails you, whether you accept returns, you don't accept returns, whatever it is, when somebody emails you and says, hey, this item was broken, I want my money back, any of that kind of stuff, a lot of times they'll email it or they'll just send you eBay. They'll open a case through eBay and go that way. So the first thing always to do is be polite with the buyer. No matter what, no matter if you're super upset, be polite with them and try to ask them a question to get more information about the situation. So whatever that looks like, guys, if they get something and say, hey, this item, when I plugged it in, it's not coming on, whatever it is, write back to them and say, I'm so sorry you're having this problem or this inconvenience. I apologize. Please give me a little bit more information so I can figure out how to best help you. And that's what you want to do first. Once you get a little bit more information about them, about what's going on with the item, that's probably where they'll write you back and say, hey, I plug it in, it's not coming on, or a piece of it's broken. So you write them back and you tell them, hey, was the packaging damaged when you got the item? So that's going to actually put all the blame onto the carrier.
Which is a completely different claim.
It is. So. But it's great if you package the item properly and you have insurance on it, then you do not have to worry about damage in shipping because it does happen. That's when it works out so well. If it does happen that way, that's when you actually pawn everything off to the shipping company and they have to actually insure.
File a shipping claim.
Exactly. That's where they have to pay for the item that they damaged. So, but that's what you want to do. So you want to be super polite with them on the first response. Get them to write back and tell you exactly what's going on with the item. Sometimes it's user error. Sometimes it's whatever it is. It was damaged in shipping. Sometimes it's just not working for whatever reason. Sometimes it's buyer's remorse And they just want to tell you that it's not working properly because they know that you have to take the return back if they say it's not as described. So all those instances, you always want to start asking them questions to figure out
a lot of questions,
what the bottom line is, what is going on with this situation. So if it's shipping, you always write them back and say, I'm so sorry about this. If the box was damaged, they write you back and say, hey, the box was damaged, the item's damaged. Say, so sorry for the inconvenience. I'm going to call the shipping company right now, and I'm going to handle it with them. That's where you call the shipping company, tell them that the item was damaged. They have to pick up the item, do a damage inspection on the item, and then return it to you. You do not refund the money until you get the item back. So, and then once you get it back, that's when you can get, you can refund the money, and then you want to start filling out the shipping claim right as soon as you tell the carrier that they damaged the item, and you have them open a tag to go pick up the item from the buyer. So that's when you actually want to fill out the claim work, because you can get usually done 5 to 7 days. If it's not a super expensive item, you can get it done fairly quick. If it's a more expensive item, they'll try and prolong it a little bit. They'll push it off a little bit. And that's where you kind of have to stay on top of them.
So what happens if it comes back damaged and it's not in shipping?
Yes, if they ask you tell you that they want you to return the item, or they ask to return the item and you do not accept returns, but they're saying it's not as described for whatever reason, when that item comes back to you, if it is in exactly the condition that you shipped it in, nothing is damaged, you can go to eBay and tell them, hey, there's nothing wrong with this. This was buyer's remorse. If you have in your terms and conditions that you charge a restocking fee, we do. You don't have to pay the shipping. You don't let people pay for shipping, so you're not paying for the shipping to them or the shipping back. You can deduct all that on the item before you actually give them the refund. So, and
that's in our terms and conditions, is that we have a 20% restocking fee plus shipping back to us.
So anything that comes back to us in the exact same condition that it left in, they had buyer's remorse. They said it wasn't as described, but it was. That's where you actually have to call eBay and get this stuff done. So a lot of the time that this happens, you have to get somebody on eBay on the phone. It might take 1 call. It might take 2 calls. It might take 3 calls. You never know the competence of the person that you're going to get on the phone, the representative.
What they can actually do.
Exactly. You don't know how that's going to pan out. So sometimes it takes a couple calls to get this situation handled. In the case of our
friend here,
our friend on YouTube, he got the information from either the rep or the supervisor, and he just accepted it. For me, that's not how I would do it. I would call back. I'd get a different supervisor, and I would tell them, listen, this item was damaged by the buyer, and I'm not responsible for the item when it was damaged. I just had this happen to me not even a month ago, and the buyer said that the item was not working. When I got it back, it was missing parts and it was broken. I called eBay up and I got the eBay rep to actually give me the full refund, and I got the item back because the guy didn't package it properly and he broke the item before he shipped it back to me. And this was a $350 item that he didn't package properly, like I said, or that he took pieces off of it to fix his item possibly. I don't know the whole situation, but I had to get eBay on the phone. And this was when it was very hard to get eBay on the phone, but I got them on the phone. They handled it for me. I had to fill out an affidavit and I had to do all that kind of stuff. It took me a couple minutes to do it. And then they got me the money back within, I think, 2 or 3 days. So,
because sometimes a person might try to tinker with an item, or we've had people plug it into a wrong kind of power outlet, or add things to it that aren't supposed to be used with that item or whatever, and then it breaks, and they're like, well, I'll just return it. So so in that case, like, you don't have to be responsible for that.
Exactly.
We have a question.
Sure.
So what about when a collector buys an item in perfect condition for their collection and then wants to return an inferior version of the item if it was sold to them? Doesn't eBay always take the buyer's side?
If they're sending you back a different item than you actually sold them, I think is that the question?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you have proof of the item that you sold. If an item comes back and it's the opposite item, or it's not the same exact item, you take a picture of it, you call eBay, and you tell eBay they didn't even send back the proper item. They sent me the wrong item. So
if you take good pictures in your listings, like, you'll have those records too. So that's a good.
In my 20 years, I've never had somebody do that. Send me a different item than I've sold.
Well, we don't sell a lot of collector's items.
No, exactly. We don't. But the other items that we've sold, we've never had anybody send back an item. Saying that it is, they bought our working item to send back their broken item. We've never had that happen. So, but like Melissa says, we don't do collectibles, and we don't do a lot of electronics and stuff like that. So it is possible to happen, but in that instance, you have proof.
Make sure you have your good pictures, and then you can take good pictures of the other items.
Exactly.
So, as soon as you get it. So, and they are the question about, doesn't eBay always take the buyer's side? they have buyer's protection, but you have seller's protection too. So it's, I mean, yes, eBay kind of has to make a decision based on their argument and your argument.
Yep.
So having good records, taking good pictures is always very important. Keeping all your communication through eBay is very important too, because sometimes somebody might put in a claim for something for one reason, and then all of a sudden they switch their reason to try to get like the money back for a different reason, and then eBay will see that because it's all through eBay. So,
exactly. So make sure all of your response, if you're dealing with somebody on the phone or you're dealing with somebody outside of eBay somehow with an email that you have, you want all of your messages to go through eBay. So eBay has a track record. They don't have a track record of phone calls. They don't have a track record of personal emails that if you communicate with people. So that's another pro tip. Do not communicate. You can communicate, but even on my instances, when we're selling bigger, larger items, expensive items, and I get people on the phone to talk to them, I always send them another text. I mean, I always send them another message through eBay, reiterating whatever we discussed on the phone, stuff like that. So you always want to have some type of backlog or some type of proof of what was said on the phone. So eBay has a record of it. If anything ever does go south, you have a record of that.
What's the average length time it takes you to sell your item after you list it?
It all depends. Some items,
different.
some items we can sell in a day or two. Some items I've sat on an item for over a year before, with high profit margins to just find the right buyer. So
yeah,
it's all over the place. Yeah, I can't give you a certain instance. You guys have to understand what we sell is not like run of the mill $20, $50 items. We try and it's just weirder or different items,
more
unique items. So it doesn't the buyer isn't always just on eBay, every single day looking for that item. We're not selling like iPhones, quick moving items. We're not doing that. We're selling unique items. It takes the right buyer to find it. So like I said, sometimes we've had stuff sell in less than 24 hours. We've had stuff sell in 2 days and 5 days.
It's all over the place.
We can't give you an exact instance of how long our stuff takes, but it does. Sometimes it takes time and sometimes it goes quick.
Yeah.
So
would it be safe to say would it be safe to just say you don't do refunds, or will that hurt sales?
eBay wants you to do refunds. We've never done refunds. We have it in our terms and conditions that we don't accept refunds. A lot of the stuff that we're selling, we're very honest with our buyers. Your biggest thing is honesty is the best policy, whatever the condition of the item is. If there's any scratches, if there's any scrapes, even if there's not, it does not hurt for you to put that kind of stuff into your description. You want people to, you want to under promise and over deliver is the best thing that I can tell you guys, to where your buyer gets it. They're excited about the items in better condition than they originally thought. I did that the wrong way when I started on eBay. I totally overpromised and underdelivered, not on purpose. That's just how I started doing it. And then I learned that the hard way that, you really need to underpromise and overdeliver. So you want your people to be very excited about the item. If you're doing that, you shouldn't have a lot of people that are upset or a lot of returns that people will want returns for, other than if it's damaged in shipping or something like that.
Or buyer's remorse.
Buyer's remorse too that can happen as well. So, but that's where if you do take it back, you do the 20% restocking fee. You don't do your shipping. I mean, they have to pay for shipping, that kind of stuff. So,
how long do you leave something listed if it's not selling?
There's all different strategies for this, but if something is listed, if it's not that big and it's not hurting anything, it's sitting on a shelf in storage. I mean, sometimes I'll forget about it and I'll just leave it on there till it sells. So there's no real, algorithm or any.
It depends how competitive you are, right? Yeah. Like you want to make sure you're competitively priced. If it's been sitting for a little while, it doesn't hurt to either run a promotion or drop the price if you have a lot of watchers, drop the price. People see that. Yeah. It definitely doesn't hurt, but it just depends on the kind of item that you have. If it's something that, like you said, is unique, that maybe like this collector is looking for this, or this person is looking for this specific model of this. Like we sell a lot of commercial equipment or whatever. So it takes the right person to be looking for that. Yeah. So it's not your average user, like you said. So it just takes a little bit longer.
Yeah. But if you go 3 weeks to a month, you can always revisit and redo the comps, make sure you're priced right competitively with your item. That won't hurt. If you're trying to move stuff, we keep roughly 100 items, 130 items listed at a time. It's hard for me to go back and, do that on all those items, once a month. So usually I try to competitively price it when I list it, and when the right person sees it, they buy it. So there's all different theories and ways you can go around stuff. That's just kind of how we do it. So.
Is it overall better to have an eBay store? You really have to go and decide for yourself, depending on what you're selling. So you have to go and see, because an eBay store, depending on the level you have, is going to be, like 27, 28, 30, whatever it is, a month,
yeah.
Depending on what you have or more. But it depends on your fees. Like if you're listing a high volume and your fees are going to add up to whatever that is extra in the month, then yes, it's worth it to have a store. For us, it's worth it because we don't sell the volume, but if we list something for $5,000 and we sell it, our fee is only going to be $350, not 500, not sorry,
500. 500.
yeah, not 500. So because they have a cap at 350. So for us, even if we sell 2 or 3 big items over 3,500 in the year, it's worth it. So, so that's why we have a store.
And we have quite a few items listed that are well over 5,000, 7,000 items like that.
Yeah.
So when one of them sells, it saves us in the long run.
And you also get a $25 coupon quarterly, so you have to factor that in too. So you get $100 of free like shipping supplies,
8 boxes, that kind of stuff.
So you can put that in also into your factors and see if what you're listing is enough. So on my, I have a account I use off and on, and I don't have a store. He has a store because he does the big stuff, but I don't do enough volume to make it worth it for me.
Yeah. So it all depends.
Yeah. What's the best way to sell? As buy it now, auction, etc.?
We do all of our stuff on buy it now, just because of our stuff is unique. When the people do see it, we're competitively priced with it. They'll go ahead and buy it. If you do an auction and you don't get that person to see it within 3, 5, 7, 10 days, I think the max auction you can do is 10 days. If that person doesn't come on and is not looking for that unique item in that 10-day period, it's not going to sell. So that's why we always do a buy it now price and make sure the price is correct.
Yeah. I was going to say, if we have something that is really hot and we know it'll sell quickly, then we'll put it at auction every once in a while. And we know, okay, this is really selling. We know that, people will bid it up, then we'll do an auction every once in a while.
Yeah.
But
or if you don't care, if you don't care about the item and you're trying to get the algorithms. You got it for free
and you just want it to get some activity on your eBay store, then or on your eBay account, then for sure you can do auction. But most of our stuff's right now.
Yep.
That was another question too. Do you ever do auctions? How much does what others are asking for an item affect how you price your items?
Asking is not what you look for. It's sold items. So it doesn't really matter what people are asking. It matters what they've sold for. So
people can ask really whatever price they want.
Yeah.
So you want to see what people are buying for.
And if you can't find any comps, sometimes it's a good thing, because then you can ask, as long as you're not over retail, you can ask quite a bit of money if the item's in good condition. I mean, each individual scenario is it just depends on what you're selling. But a lot of times, if you don't have a comp, it's better than having comps that are a little bit lower. So because you can set your own price for that stuff.
Our average is about 50% of retail is our average selling price, but we are also selling a little bit different, a little bit bigger items, or higher profit items. So, but that's our average.
Yeah.
But we always look at comps and what they're selling for too.
Yep.
So, when putting in a claim, how do you determine amount request and proof of value?
eBay sale is your proof of value. So you just give them a printed out sheet of paper or a printed out ended listing for eBay. That's your proof of value. What was the other one they asked for?
How do you determine amount request?
You have to, whatever you insured it for. When you're creating your label through eBay to do the insurance, you're only allowed to insure it for the amount. And you can do this differently if you're going outside of eBay to create a label. But if you're creating through eBay, which we recommend everybody doing, you can only do the amount that it's sold for. That's all you can ask for, cover the insurance on it, and then your proof of value is the actual sold item, what it's sold for. So that's all you really need for the claim, because you have, like I said, that's your proof of what it's sold for. So that's what they have to pay out when you insure it for that much.
How long does an item stay on Buy It Now?
Buy It Now, you can list it, I think, automatically as of like a year ago. Every time you list an item, it reoccurs and relists itself every 30 days. You might be able to change that, but I think right now eBay, when you do Buy It Now, it just keeps. You have the option to set it for just
automatic relisting,
just to keep going until it sells. So that's how all of our stuff is. It doesn't really end. When the time runs down on the Buy It Now, it just relists itself and keeps going.
For you both separately. This is Marianne. What is the most memorable item at the flea market that you got and the most excited about flipping? That's a good question. You have to think about that.
Yeah, you caught me off guard on that. Let me think about that, why we're doing it, and we'll come back and answer it before we actually sign off.
Yeah, I think mine, maybe not flipping. I get excited for projects. Maybe some furniture. I do get excited. I had those end tables I found in the Keys actually were at not the flea market, but they were at a yard sale.
Yeah.
And I really liked them, and they were really antique look, or they just had a unique, a good look on them. And I think they were $20 each, and it was a little bit high, but I was like, I think they could do it. I think they could sell. And I was
walked out, and I told you to go back and buy it.
You did? Or
you did.
I know, but I
yes.
thought I was
no,
trying to
you walked away from them.
Oh, okay. Well, they were really cool, and I wanted to redo them. And then we got them home. We finally got them. We got them home, and you told me don't redo them because they look really nice.
Yeah.
So I didn't touch them, and we sold them for $400.
Yeah.
Plus shipping. So those are cool. We didn't even do anything to them. I just bought them for $20 each and sold them as a set for $400.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do like the furniture. If I had more time, I would definitely get into some furniture flipping. So.
Yeah.
Maybe when the kids finally go back to school, it will happen. Yeah. So
mine is I don't know if I can think of anything. I just like the unique things. So I love it when I find something that is very unique, that's weird, and I'm able to do it. I mean, can't think of anything offhand. Everybody knows about my prosthetic leg. I was super excited about that when we actually did that one.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't even think I went to the flea market with you, and that was even before kids that time.
Yeah, it was.
He got a prosthetic. People might not know. He got a prosthetic knee joint. Came home, listed it on eBay, and it sold within a couple hours. You bought it for $35, and it sold for $1,000.
Super quick.
Like super quick. It was some titanium knee joint.
So,
and the guy was like ready to get rid of it. He's like, "Here, take it."
Yeah, so. He was a little bit disgusted with it
because it was a prosthetic. But I mean, it was just a titanium knee joint. So, anyways, so that was a quick clip.
Yeah,
that was a good one. But
yeah, that's me offhand. I mean, I'll keep thinking. If I think of something better, I'll let you know. But yeah,
you get excited for everything.
I do. I love the hunt. I love finding the deals at the flea market. So
he was so excited when he found the hovercraft. Yeah, but you're not going to sell that one.
Yeah, well, we will sell it one day, but just not right now. So.
Will eBay create a shipping label for freight items?
No, they will not. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, you can do freight through FedEx and UPS. You can go outside of it, but I don't think they'll allow you to create it on eBay's website.
What is the name of your store?
Our eBay store?
Yeah.
We try not to give it out a ton, but you can message me privately, and yeah, we'll let you know what it is.
Shipping doesn't count in a claim. Do you include that? Shipping doesn't count in a claim.
Yes, you always get paid back for shipping.
Yeah, and especially, and if you do free shipping, I mean, it's obviously in there too.
Yeah, you have to add it in when you're doing the claim. Say you sold the item for $500 and you paid $50 for shipping on the item, $54, whatever it is. When you do it gives you the option in the claim to actually say how much it was insured for, how much for shipping, and you add it up at the bottom and say what the total payout was for the claim. So. Yeah, don't be surprised either, guys, if you're doing shipping claims that they deny it, because
I was gonna say
everything we've ever done, they've always denied it. You have to fight for that money. So just know going into it, they're going to deny it. So we've had shipping anywhere from $300 all the way up into a couple $1,000 that they have tried to deny every time it goes through because they don't want to pay it out.
Right.
They try to blame it on everything underneath the sun, but you have to fight for it. You have to fight for what you pay for. And that it's packaged properly. So just know that going into any claim that you do.
Yeah. I was going to say anything under $300, pretty much they'll pay out quickly. Like usually you don't have a problem for it, but over that, they'll usually give you a fine.
Yeah.
So you have to just talk to them and get it through. Does FedEx or UPS give a better freight shipping rates?
Freight, I don't know. We don't use FedEx or UPS. I give the same information. You guys, we've done freight for years. And yeah, we built a relationship with a company. That's kind of what Flipper University goes into on that. But yeah, I mean, I've never shipped anything through FedEx or UPS. So I don't really recommend you doing it. But if you want to, you can. They're just usually astronomical. So what I tell people is you can start with U-Ship is how you can start your journey on freight shipping if you want to do it. We shortcut it. We give you all of our insights through Flipper University, but that's how we started as well. Years and years ago, we started with U-Ship. I've shipped through, I can't tell you how many different freight companies before we started really narrowing down to few freight companies that we use for shipping. But like I said, that's what we go through.
But you'll be able to find your local ones.
Exactly.
That you can work through.
Exactly.
So.
We go through what we've done through the process. But if you're starting out, always start with UShip.
UShip will be a lot better than FedEx or UPS.
And UShip does give you some rates from FedEx and UPS for freight, but you're going to see that they're quite a bit above the other freight companies. So I would never tell you to start off with FedEx or UPS freight.
Congratulations on being featured on the Hustle newsletter. I found you guys while listening to Fly to Fi. Flipped weights last week and made $350. Awesome.
Good for you.
Weights have been so good lately. I've been trying to buy some and I can't because they're so expensive.
Yeah.
Because everybody's been working out at home lately. Although gyms have now opened up in our area.
Yep.
But still.
So the prices will go down.
Yeah. But good for you, $350. Awesome.
Exercise equipment is
all exercise equipment.
The last couple months.
And it will be for a while too.
Yeah. Well, we've always sold, even before this stuff that was going on, we've always sold exercise equipment, done really well with commercial stuff. So that's always
it's definitely one of our favorite things to flip.
For sure.
When you ship small items, do you freight through eBay? We just small items? Do you do freight? No, not with small
items is just regular box items.
Yeah.
You use FedEx, UPS, USPS for a smaller item, not freight.
We do. Most of our stuff goes through FedEx. That doesn't go freight. We do USPS every once in a while. It just depends on the size and the weight of the item.
Yeah.
So, not freight, postage. Do you do postage through eBay? Yes.
Yeah, 100%. If you're selling on eBay, you always want to use eBay. Sometimes you can save up to 30 or 40%. With that. So if you're selling on eBay, always create the label through eBay. You're gonna save a lot of money through postage on that.
Yeah. We offer the freight course separately in FlipperU.
We've talked about it. We have not done it yet, but we have talked about doing that in the next,
maybe 6 months or so.
We have talked about it, but we have not done it yet.
Yeah.
So,
and hopefully it will be coming in the future.
Yeah.
So got a couple of projects in the works right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, the freight really has. I mean, it changes the game for a lot of people. If you're already an experienced flipper, like that can really up your profits a lot. So we've had a lot of people get started with freight and do really well. And So anyways,
freight's the game changer. That was the one for us. That's where we really started going to some crazy money because we're doing freight now. So it opens a whole new level of flipping when you're able to ship anything. You know how to do it, and you how to do it at the right price. It just changes the game. So that's what we try to teach. So
awesome. I think we're caught up with that so far. So
awesome. Well, let's do our highlight.
Oh yeah, we want to talk about highlight.
April is our highlight from FlipperU this week. She we've done some a little bit more private coaching with her and her husband, and they actually got a
cooktop, right?
It's not a cooktop. It's a built-in Thermador microwave oven.
Right.
Microwave oven. I actually found the item for them. They paid $150 for it, and then they sold it for $1,000 this last week. Actually, a couple days ago. So killer flip.
Yeah.
Super excited about that. And they had that one listed for a little while. She actually came to me about a week ago and said, "Hey, it hasn't sold yet." I think she had it listed for either $1,300 or $1,400. And I said, "Drop it if you're ready to liquidate it. Drop it down to $1,000."
Still a great profit.
Yeah, and she still made great money on it. So she is our flip of the week.
Yeah.
Highlight
for
sure.
Awesome. Is that the dog?
Yeah, but I think it's this way.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, if you have any other questions on
returns or
returns,
anything like that, guys, let us know. Otherwise, we'll sign off here in a few minutes.
And we thank you. Sorry we were a little late tonight. We had some technical errors with the computer.
And also, guys, if you guys can subscribe, give us a thumbs up, any of that stuff, hearts, we appreciate that. We want to try and grow these lives more and more to reach more people. So any of that stuff that you guys can do through YouTube or through Facebook, we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
What do you mean? Subscribe. Just subscribe on YouTube.
Oh, subscribe.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're on Facebook, you can't subscribe, but you can hit a like.
Yeah, there you go. I should have let Melissa say that because I don't know that stuff as well. Melissa is the one who takes care of that stuff for us. So I'm the flipper. She's the brains. She does the online stuff. So, but
all right.
Anyways.
Thank you guys so much for hopping on. We love the questions, you guys.
And like I said, Melissa, you're going to set something up pretty soon where they can go in
so we'll have a link that you guys can go and submit questions, and then we can talk about them because we really like to go through and kind of start with and dig it deeper into somebody's questions.
For sure.
It's a lot of fun. So thanks, guys.
Awesome. You guys are rock. We will see you next Monday.
All right. Have a great night.
See ya.
Bye.